It's rare that the first thing that grabs me about any new bike is the looks these days. It happened with Kawasaki's Z900 RS, Ducati's V2 Panigale, and Honda's Fireblade. And yesterday, it happened again. However, the last time this manufacturer grabbed my wholehearted, lusty, starry-eyed attention for motorcycles was back in 1975. I was 11. I'll never forget it. It was the Le Mans 850 by Moto Guzzi. What have Moto Guzzi done in this, their centenary year, to celebrate 100 years of continuous motorcycle production as Europe's oldest motorcycle manufacturer? Well, they've released both the V7 and the V85 TT with a centenary paint scheme, and while that might not elicit much more than a shoulder shrug from many of us, this just might get your heart beating. It certainly grabbed my attention. Moto Guzzi have just announced the beautiful V100 Mandello. In my humble opinion, not since Guzzi introduced one of the most iconic motorcycles of the 20th century, the Le Mans 850, have they finally rediscovered the formula for beauty. Moto Guzzi have just announced the beautiful V100 Mandello in their teaser video. Full details and specs aren't going to be released or revealed until November's EICMA show in Milan, but Guzzi haven't been coy about showing us up-close details of the bike, and from that we can make some pretty educated guesses as to what this beautiful bike holds for those who are lucky enough to be able to swing a leg over one soon. The V100 Mandello looks like a lower, leaner and sportier tourer in the traditional sport tourer sense. It's a market that went out of fashion a few years ago in favor of the current taller crop of popular adventure tourist-style bikes, like, for instance, the Yamaha Tracer and the Beamer XR. In comparison, the V100 has a lower, sportier stance with a half fairing, but with a similar relaxed riding position. It's a genre that is little in the way of direct competition these days, but one which I feel is on the rebound. Suzuki are soon to release their handsome GSX-RS 1000T in some parts of the world, a sport touring version of the standard highly rated 2021 GSX-RS 1000. Like BMW's R1250 RS, it's a tractable twin. It'll have that Guzzi character, be eminently rideable and usable, but unusually for a Moto Guzzi, its transverse twin is water-cooled, meaning it'll likely have a higher compression ratio and be higher revving, so we can probably expect somewhere between 120 and 130 horsepower and, due to the V-twin's nature, an equivalent amount of real-world torque. The bike comes in two iterations, the standard red version and the centenary version in green and silver. And keeping with tradition, and like other Moto Guzzi models, this is a shaft drive bike. But unlike other Moto Guzzi models, the V100 uses that shaft drive, but is unique in the fact that it has a cardan shaft inside a single-sided swing arm. Like I said, this bike is a thing of beauty. Moto Guzzi have two versions of this V100 Mandello. The red bike seems to be the base model, with standard suspension, while the green V100 gets higher-end Olin suspension, including what looks like the same semi-active suspension system on the Aprilia Tuono V4 factory, which wouldn't be a surprise seeing as Aprilia and Moto Guzzi are both owned by Piaggio. The V100 also has a hydraulic clutch and a Brembo master cylinder and Brembo brakes, not to mention a trellis frame, a real Italian thoroughbred. While the exact details of the instrumentation are hard to make out, it looks like a full-color TFT, which is probably going to incorporate some sort of navigation and all sorts of features. If I had one qualm about the bike, it would be that I would like to see the red version with just two plain clocks and perhaps a TFT or an LCD display between the two clocks, rather like the Z900 RS has. Just call me old-fashioned and traditional. Even though Moto Guzzi were the first motorcycle manufacturer to have a wind tunnel, I'm dubious about the effectiveness of the winglet wind deflectors on the side of the tank, and given the poor review of the V85 TT's shield, the electric screen. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt until I actually swing a leg over this beauty and ride it. But overall, it's the looks of this magnificent beast. The two taillights, circular, like the old Ferraris, or afterburners, the gorgeous wheels, the single-sided shaft drive swing arm, the scalloped tank, the whole thing flows beautifully. The Moto Guzzi V100 Mandello is a bike I think will appeal to traditionalists and people looking for something fresh and different in the sport touring market. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this bike, especially if you're a Guzzi owner or an aficionado. Once again, thanks for watching everyone. If this is the first time you've watched, please consider subscribing. I do motorcycle reviews, motorcycle related product reviews, off-road and on-road vlogs as well as tours. Even though I'm not the most diligent poster, don't forget to follow me on social media. That's Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And to like. And especially, I'm begging you here folks, subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified whenever I release a video. This is the BlueMarbleRider, out.